I stood in front of everyone that night. Music played, lights sparkled, and all eyes were on me. My cheeks ached from holding a smile that wasn't real. Tonight was supposed to be my dream. I had waited my whole life for this moment, the moment where I would finally be seen, finally be loved, finally be safe. Daniel had slipped a ring on my finger less than 20 minutes earlier, and for a short moment, I thought my life was changing. But in 1 second, everything was destroyed. My mother's hand slammed against my chest. The blow came so fast, so unexpected, that I couldn't even breathe. Before I could recover, her foot kicked into me. The air rushed out of my lungs. I stumbled back, my heels scraping the polished floor. A wave of gasps ran through the crowd like electricity. The engagement ring, the one Daniel had placed on my finger with trembling hands, was ripped away by my mother's claws. She twisted so hard it felt like my bones would break. Then she lifted the ring high above her head, as if she was holding something filthy. Without hesitation, she hurled it into the fireplace. The flames snapped. Gold melted. Diamond cracked. In seconds, the symbol of my future was gone. "Dogs don't become brides," she shrieked. Her words cut the air sharp like broken glass. I froze. My ears rang. I could not believe she had called me that in front of everyone. Then came laughter. Not from strangers, but from my sister, Kelsey. She sat pretty in her champagne-colored dress at the front table, wine in hand, enjoying my destruction. She leaned forward and smirked. Her words were poison, yet loud enough for the whole hall to hear. "Mom's right. Who would marry the family mutt?" Her friends giggled. Their glasses clinked together. My humiliation became their entertainment. I turned toward Daniel, the man who was supposed to protect me. He stood frozen. His hand twitched like he wanted to defend me, but he did nothing. He looked trapped between love and fear. In the end, he chose silence. His parents were at the back. His mother's hand covered her mouth. His father's eyes narrowed, cold and careful. But they didn't move either. They just watched. Then my father's voice roared from the corner. "Pick yourself up." His arms were crossed, his glass in his hand. His face was stone. "If you want to play bride," he said, "then at least learn to stay on your feet." Shame burned hotter than pain. Dozens of eyes were locked on me. Relatives. Neighbors. Daniel's co-workers. All of them watching my life collapse. When I tried to speak, Mom shoved me again. "Don't whimper," she spat. "Brides are graceful. You're just a stray. We should have left you outside years ago." Her words stabbed deeper than knives. Kelsey rose from her chair. She walked with pride to the fireplace and crouched near the flames that had devoured my ring. "Such a shame," she said, her voice sweet and cruel. "The only shiny thing you ever had is gone. Want me to buy you a dollar store ring tomorrow? Maybe that suits a dog better." Laughter rolled through the room. Some looked away, ashamed. Others leaned closer, desperate for more drama. Daniel opened his mouth, then closed it again. His silence was louder than their laughter. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear my sister's smile from her face. I wanted to grab back my dignity from every laughing mouth. But I couldn't move. My body shook. My heart pounded. I was trapped in their theater, a play they had performed 100 times, and tonight I was the star of their cruelty. Dad slammed his glass down. "Enough entertainment. Sit down, mutt. The show's over." But Mom wasn't finished. She yanked me up again, her nails digging into my arm. "Not yet," she hissed. "Everyone here should see what kind of joke we almost let into their family." She turned to Daniel's parents, her smile sugar-sweet but poisonous. "Do you really want your son to marry trash? Because that's all she is. Trash in a dress." Daniel's mother gasped. For a moment, I thought she would defend me. But his father pressed her hand down. His eyes measured me, cold and cautious. He was already deciding I wasn't good enough. Kelsey tugged at my dress. Cheap fabric, she sneered. Looks like clearance rack. Perfect match for her. Laughter scattered again. My skin crawled. Daniel's head dropped. He couldn't even meet my eyes. Something inside me cracked. Not into tears. Not into screams. But into silence. I swallowed everything, the humiliation, the rage, the pain. I buried it deep. Because if they wanted me broken, they wouldn't get it. I would give them something else. Something darker. While they laughed, I stared into the fire where my ring had burned. And I began to plan. I didn't cry in a bathroom stall that night. I didn't run away. I stood silent until the party collapsed on itself. They thought I had broken. They thought I had crawled away in shame. But silence can be stronger than screaming. Silence is where planning begins. In the weeks that followed, I disappeared. Not physically, but emotionally. I answered no one. I didn't reply to Daniel's weak messages. Let's forget it happened. My parents are nervous. Nervous? His silence on that night had already told me everything. He wasn't part of my future anymore. Mom, Dad, and Kelsey carried on like nothing happened. They joked about the mutt who thought she could be a bride. They bragged about Kelsey's new boyfriend. They paraded her as their golden child. Good. Let them laugh. Let them believe I was humiliated into silence. That was exactly what I wanted. I waited. I planned. I watched. And then came the announcement, Kelsey's birthday party. A grand event, in the same hall, on the same stage, by the same fireplace that had swallowed my ring. The perfect stage for my revenge. The night of her birthday, I walked into the hall uninvited. Heads turned instantly. I wasn't wearing glitter or lace. Just a simple black dress. Clean. Sharp. Commanding. Mom's jaw dropped. Dad's hand tightened on his glass. Kelsey flicked her hair back and smirked. Look who crawled back, she sneered. Here to ruin my night too? I didn't answer. Instead, I clapped my hands once. Sharp. Loud. The doors opened. Men walked in carrying boxes. One after another, they stacked them neatly by the stage. Guests whispered, confused. I stepped forward, my voice calm, stronger than it had ever been. If you're going to watch a show tonight, I said, then watch mine. Mom's face twisted. Get out before Before you what? I cut her off. Kick me again? Throw something into the fire? Do it. Do it in front of them all. Show them who you really are. Her lips trembled. She didn't move. I opened the first box. Inside were photo frames, fake awards, forged certificates, staged letters. The lies they had built to crown Kelsey the golden child. One by one, I held them up. You wanted everyone to believe she was perfect. Let them see how perfection is built. Then I threw them into the fire. Glass cracked, paper burned, smoke rose. The audience gasped. The next box spilled bank receipts, statements, proof of every dollar my parents had stolen from me. They had drained my savings, funneled money into Kelsey's account, all while leaving me with nothing. I scattered the papers across tables like confetti. The numbers screamed louder than I ever could. Here's your golden girl, I said. Fed on theft. Raised on lies. Crowned with humiliation. The room fell silent. Daniel was there, near the back. His face turned pale as he saw the receipts. His parents whispered in shock. The engagement had been dead since the night of my humiliation. But now, the truth of why was alive for everyone to see. I opened the last box. Inside was Kelsey's diary. The same diary she had carelessly left at my place. The pages were filled with venom, how she despised Mom, how she mocked Dad behind their backs, how she planned to leave once she had taken everything she wanted. I read her words out loud. Line after line. The crowd gasped. Kelsey screamed for me to stop. But I didn't stop. Finally, I closed the diary. I tossed it into the fire. Flames rose higher. I looked directly at my parents. You said dogs don't become brides. You're right. Dogs don't become brides. Dogs become hunters. And you taught me exactly what to hunt. Silence. Heavy. Crushing. Friends turned away. Neighbors whispered. Daniel's parents dragged him out, their faces pale with shame. Kelsey sobbed into her hands. Mom sat frozen, lips trembling. Dad stared into the fire, speechless for the first time in his life. I turned. I walked out. I never looked back. Behind me, their empire of lies burned. For the first time, I wasn't the mutt they mocked. I was the one holding the leash. Please like and subscribe for more videos, also comment where you're watching from.